Sure. All right, moving on to our next game. This is our home computer, the Apple II, and this is Apple Bowl. It's bowling on your Apple II. Let's look at the artwork for bowling. Oh man, is this a bowling game or a computer? Looks like an educational game, like we're looking at a textbook for the front of the box. I wonder if that's the actual front of the box for Apple Bowl. The game made for people who want to study. If you like studying, play Apple Bowl. All right, let's check it out. It is 1979. We're playing all the rest of the games that were released at some point in 1979, and this is Apple Bowl for the Apple II. It is playing on an Apple II that's it's a little bit more advanced than the one you'd play in 1979. There we go, by Charlie Kellner. Oh, and Eric Larson. We got 2 developers. That's awesome. 1979, copyright, blah, 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 blah. All right, spacebar. Oh, here we go. Apple Bowl's a 3D high-resolution graphic simulation of a bowling alley. Oh, really? 3D high-resolution graphic simulation? The computed motion of the ball and pins is derived from the laws of physics. This is cool. They're pointing out how impressive it is to program physics because it's not really something we see in a lot of games at the time. The ball can be thrown from any point across the width of the bowling alley. Do you need instructions? Yeah, I do. 3 lanes are shown on your screen, approximately on lane 2. Occasionally you may notice activity on lanes 1 and 2, but don't let this concern you. They're different teams. When it's your turn, Apple will display a small moving pointer in front of the lane, and you'll point which ball will be released when you press either of the push buttons. Ooh, on the paddle controls. Okay. So we use a paddle controller. This is the Apple II, so you could use a little twist dial similar to Atari's. And then we heard from the chat from Chiptune Chronicles. This is 1979's version of 4K when we say high resolution graphics. Yes, and it's true. They're going to have lots of great marketing techniques. So more instructions? Sure. How many paddle instructions can we get? If you use button 0 to throw the ball, it will hook slightly to the left. Oh, okay. So they're talking about how to, after you throw the bowling ball, how to turn it around. Okay, ready to begin? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do some bowling on the Apple II. This is our first bowling video game on a home computer. We played bowling video games in the arcades and home consoles. And, oh, Apple Bowl, look at that. It has the 3 lanes, and it's 3-dimensional. I can't even describe to you how difficult it is to program for this computer. To make this look 3-dimensional, we have drawing programs where we can draw lines and quickly... No, they didn't have that. To program this, you had to know what column and row to make the pixel. And then you had to program that coordinate into the computer. And think of programming every single pixel using the coordinates. It would blow your mind. Hi, what's your name? Let's pick someone from chat. Chiptune. Do I have enough space? What's your name? Chiptune. Okay, game number 1, bowler. Does my paddle work? Let's see if my paddle runs. It does. Okay, cool. It uses the paddle that's programmed in. And the pins really don't fall down. It sounds like someone is touching them with their finger. And they just pip and fall. But there's a little dial at the bottom. And then if you look on the left and right, they said ignore those. They're pretending like other people are playing with us on other lanes in a bowling alley, which we haven't seen on any bowling game. Every bowling game has the one lane we're in as if we're the only ones in the world. But this feels like we're in a bowling alley. All right, so here, let's see if we can get a spare. Pick up the spare, man. Come on. Get the curve. There we go. Yes. Oh, okay, we at least saw a pin fall over. Okay, it is a little slower, but we'd expect that for a home computer in 79. We have played one of the best bowling games in the arcades this year, which had physics for the ball, and the pins actually would spin and fall, and it was done very, very well, but that was arcades, and this is the home computer. So for bowling, the first one we played for a home computer, and with the physics programmed in, that is actually very good. So we're going to go and give that one, for the time, 4 stars for what you could play on a home computer in 1979. Apple Bowl. And we heard from the chat, Chiptune Chronicle says, only time I can ace in bowling was on the Wii. And yes, bowling on the Wii is awesome with the motion controls. Getting to bowl, and I actually do a little bit better. I love it because you don't have to hold a heavy bowling ball. All right, so moving on to our next game. We are back in the arcades. Oh, we're going to see lots of shooters, lots of Space Invaders clones. So here, this is Astro Wars. Let's take a look at the artwork for Astro Wars. The latest space game. Man, those space games, we need more of those. Did anyone ever say that in 1979? Like one of the operators for an arcade cabinet? Or not arcade cabinet, but an actual arcade? There's the cabinet for Astro Wars, and there's our control panel. It looks like we control it just like Space Invaders. No joystick, 2 buttons, fire button, and then 1 or 2 player. Yeah, we have left and right and fire. There's the marquee, and we got it. We have a manual. Oh, no, we don't. We have a German manual, which is not helpful for us, and it's just showing us the circuit board. I wanted to see if they tell us what the game was. All right, it's 1979. We're playing Astro Wars in the arcade, playing every video game, closing out the rest of 1979. All right, so let's put a quarter in and then see what happens. Push the start button. Why, yes. All right, so player 1, I am the only one here in the arcades. We have a very basic sound for the sound effects. It's not giving me a shot sound effect. All I hear is the invaders coming at me. But it's, I actually realized what this game is. We played another version of this. This would be, I see. This is by a publisher called Zaccaria. Zaccaria is an Italian publisher. So they were the ones that took the game that we played earlier this year and then published the game in the rest of Europe. So this is a game we've seen similar before. Oh, that got me. But this would be the European version, or what Europe saw first in 1979. And this game is pretty cool. If they look at the top, the red bar is going down. Oh my, it's so hard to explain the game and fire and shoot and pay attention at the same time. Wait, am I already game over? I am. I only got a score of 390. But if you look at the top of the screen, it shows your fuel, the big red bar. And as you play the game, the fuel slowly goes down. It's essentially a timer. But above that bar are different color spacecraft. You start with the teal, and then fuchsia, and then the green, yellow. And then if you make it to the big red one, they call that the mothership. So it's almost like you're getting a progressively different levels to play on, which was very cool for the time. All right, that was Astro Wars. We're going to go and give that one just slightly, actually, from what we've seen of everything else, we're going to go and give that one 3.5. So it's plays very well, and it has mechanics that are better, more impressive than Space Invaders. And we heard from the chat, Jade Baby Doll said shmups. Yes, these are shmups. Thanks, Space Invaders, for sending us shmups. All right, we're still in the arcades. This is now Attack Force. We're going through every video game that was released sometime in 1979 in alphabetical order, since we don't know for sure exactly in 79 when these were. Here is our advertisement flyer and arcade cabinet. Loving the artwork around the side. And then, oh god, that is a filthy looking control panel. Looks like it was been in the arcade since 1979. Attack Force. We have no manual. We are going to wing it. Here we go. It is 1979. We're in the arcades playing Attack Force by Electronic Game System. I don't believe this. Everyone, I think this game is not programmed in color, or it's programmed in monochrome, one color. So we could be seeing an overlay, like a yellow overlay over the top. And we just heard from the chat, Chiptune Chronicle says, you remember back in the day, everyone smoked at the arcades. Yes, that is true. We don't have the smoking motif for 1979, but yes, it was very smoky in the arcades. All right, let's put in a coin and see what happens. Whoop. I put in oh, it didn't crash. Okay, good. So here you go. I'm in the Jeep at the bottom. Looks like I got controls to move left and right and then shoot. Similar to Space Invaders, I have only one bullet I can shoot at a time, so I got to make it count. But it looks like it is enemy forces that are trying to get from one side to the other is what I could make it. Okay, yeah, they're going from one side to the other. And I bet if they get to the bottom, then it is game over for me. Get up. Oh, man, he got a piece of me. Just the front of the Jeep. Come on. Can I get him? But yeah, they're just traversing left to right. I'd actually say that we've seen something better on the home computer. This is arcade. I wonder if this was North America or in another part of the world when this one came out. Get him. Get it. There we go. But it's essentially a fixed shooter. I want to see what happens if they get to the bottom. But I'm getting shot way too many times. This is on 1/4, and I'm actually doing pretty well for being shot so much. I thought they'd give me a game over by now. Come on, there we go. It looks like they may not get to the bottom. Oh, they're speeding up though. Oh wow, yeah. Not prepared for the fastness. No. Am I still going on 1/4? They've shot me so many times. I'm still going. Oh, okay, there we go. There's the game over. So good bang for your buck. That was Attack Force. Very much, I'd say, bad for the time, especially for arcade. Let's go ahead and give that one 2 stars. Best of the bad for Attack Force.